So if you're a fan of the Montreal Canadiens, you're saying to yourself, what caused them to lose the Cup in 1975? Was it a French Connection line of Buffalo that outplayed them in the semifinals? Was it a lack of depth and a lack of returning players that really hurt them? Or was it Ken Dryden taking a mind freak because he gave up a game-winning unassisted goal to this guy, the biggest penalty killer at the time in the NHL, besides Craig Ramsey, Don Luce, and Bob Gainey? I don't think Dryden ever got over it, and the press were on his back, saying that maybe he's not ready for the playoffs. This was in March of '75. So we can only talk about one person, and he's kind of been lost in the dawn of time. But what's really interesting about this, he's a Hockey Hall of Fame member in Manitoba. So today we're going to be talking about Lew Morrison. Now, Saskatchewan-born Morrison grew up in Hartney, Manitoba, and won consecutive Bantam hockey titles in 1961 and a provincial juvenile title in 1966. Now, joining the 67 Flin Flon Bombers, he teamed up with Bobby Clarke and Reggie Leach to win the Manitoba Junior Hockey League title and reach the Memorial Cup semifinals. He was eventually selected in the first round of the '68 NHL entry draft by the Flyers and did play with Clarke in the big leagues. After a season with the AHL affiliate Quebec Aces, he again formed a fearsome penalty-killing unit with Clarke. Considered probably one of the most underrated twosome of all time. Now, two expansion teams claimed him in the drafts, the Atlanta Flames in '72 and the Washington Capitals in '74. He was eventually traded to the Penguins, where he would play his final 3 NHL seasons. Now, if he wasn't the best penalty killer of his era, well, for a decade, I like to have anybody show me different. Anytime he got on the ice, he was a shutdown player. What was kind of ironic here, ladies and gentlemen, a number 1 draft pick by the Flyers in '68 after 49 points in 56 games. Now, after that 25-point season with Quebec in 1969 with 12 goals in the playoffs and 4 goals in the postseason, his first campaign with the Flyers, 9, 10, and 19 in 66 games. 71, he had 78 games, 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists. 72, 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points, again, as a majority as a penalty killer. Atlanta eventually took him in the expansion draft, and the rest, as we say, is history. He's received many awards during his career. He won the Philadelphia Unsung Hero Award in '71-72 after helping Quebec the AHL Calder Cup Finals in '69. He played in the first game in Atlanta-Calgary franchise history on October 7, '72 at New York Islanders. Recorded the first assist in Atlanta-Calgary history with a lone assist on a shorthanded goal by Morris Stefan at 12:48 to the first on October 7th, '72. Now, it was the only goal that Morris had scored. Now, he won the Atlanta Flames Fan Club Unsung Hero Award in '73. And again, the big goal that everybody remembers, he scored an unassisted game-winning goal for Pittsburgh against Montreal's Ken Dryden on March 26, '75. Now, just to recap his expansion history, he was claimed by Atlanta from Philadelphia as the 22nd pick in the NHL expansion draft on June 6, '72. On June 12, '74, he was claimed by Washington from Atlanta as the 17th pick in the NHL expansion draft. And on December 14, '74, he was traded by Washington with future considerations, Don Sealing, to Pittsburgh in exchange for the great Ron Lalonde. Now, he's the older brother of former minor leaguers Johnny Morrison and Don Morrison. Now, he was also highly recruited to the WHA. He was taken by the Alberta Oilers in the '72 WHA draft. Again, were played on a line with Bobby Clarke for the Flyers in '69-70, and again he was called up to the NHL to join the first Washington Capitals team, 9 games in the '74-75 season. Now, with Philadelphia, Atlanta, Washington, and Pittsburgh, he had 564 games played, 39 goals, 52 assists for 91 points, and only 107 minutes in penalties. In the playoffs, 17 games played with 2 minutes in penalties. Now, looking at his raw stats with Atlanta doesn't tell the whole story. He played 130 games in Atlanta over 2 seasons, only minus 12 with 7 goals, 13 assists, and 20 points. In '74, never took a penalty that year. One of the few players ever in NHL history. 75 with Washington, 4 assists in 18 games. But over the Penguins, pretty bizarre, ladies and gentlemen. Over 200 regular season games in 75 to 77, 13 goals, 24 points, and only 12 minutes in penalties. And 77, the second season with no minutes in penalties, including the playoffs. So I don't know if that's an NHL record, but he went 77 games with no penalties. Now, in 78, he split time between Pittsburgh, where he had 2 assists in 8 games with the Broom Dusters of the AHL, 6 goals, 14 assists for 20 points with the Broom Dusters. So again, the native of Gainsborough, a gentleman player, for someone 6 feet, 185, a right winger coming out of Flin Flon. And even in Flin Flon, he didn't have any penalty minutes. In 2 seasons, he only had 53, so we probably made him the virgin of the group. So, but what really stands out for me, ladies and gentlemen, he played in a regular shift in 76 and 77, 150 games, only just plus 1. So that's just tremendous. And like I said, for Pittsburgh to score all those goals, they needed somebody like him good on defense. And that 76 season, ladies and gentlemen, and 75 was a good year as well. What a strong team Pittsburgh was in those 2 years. And Lew was the glue that kept the defense together. So that's the legend of the great Lew Morrison, the guy that Ken Dryden was freaked out by. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe. And as we like saying in the North Shore, you better keep your stick in the ice. Bye.